Hey guys, I'm doing a quick change out of my um, spring perch. These are the ones that get mounted on the top. These are for my MTS coilovers, and right now I have the one that go on the bottom, which is from my YCW coilovers, and I'm going to switch these out. Oops. I'm going to switch these out really quick because the ones that mount on the bottom have a weird articulation and they're kind of rubbing right here. So I'm doing this really quick. Right now as the car sits, I already removed the shock mount. And right now I'm loosening the lug nuts. I'm going to remove the wheel. I already loosened up a little bit. So, alright, so I'm gonna cut until the tires removed and the car's lifted up. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so here it is. Alright, there's tension on it. Good. But I don't know, I think the spring would hit here. Like if you can see it, like even right now at as the car's hitting, I think it was hitting back here. There's some spring. There's some freaking paint from the coilover spring. So I'm not a big fan of this one down here. Yeah, so I'm going to be installing the one that goes on the top now. Alright, let's take this off. Here you can see I already removed the spring. And this, you really don't need this. The only reason you would need this would be because of how this thing's designed. Look at this. So you can see right here, if you put this by itself, puts too much pressure on the spring seat and too much pressure, which would cause it to crack. Plus you tighten this down on the bottom and you apply even more pressure, so that's why you get those cracking, the aluminum arm cracking. But if you put this on top and then you put, where's my spring seat, and then you put this on the bottom, there's a lot of load being spread over along with the spring, so you won't get any cracking, in my opinion. Alright, so now let's put in the top mount. Alright, you know what, I'm actually gonna install it like this. This is how the old ones go, which is some people put it like this on the bottom, and I'm just going to test it out, see how it works. And I'll let you guys know if my this control arm breaks. Alright, so if it breaks, it breaks, and I'll report back to you. If it doesn't, then that's good. It might break. The spring, it's a 156, so there's a good chance it might break. So let's just put it on the bottom. Usually it goes on the top, but you know, it's a nice experiment. We'll see if it lasts. Alright, let's put everything back together. Alright, so I have an issue right now, meaning I need to lift this up, but I got the jack stand here and I only have one. So what I'm going to do is do what I did. The right height there should be exactly how I had it, since I measured the distance here, so it should be the same right height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the wheel, lift the car up more, put the wheel, set it down, and then install the shock while the car is set down. We'll see if that works, which I think it should. Alright, so let's put the wheel back on. Oh yeah, and also I really don't think there was an issue having here in the bottom. I don't think it was hitting the spring. It just looked like it is, but it wasn't. So I am a little scared that it's down here, But yeah, it wasn't hitting the spring. I don't know where that pain came from, but when I looked here behind this, there was nothing, no scratch, nothing, so it was all good. All right, so I got the wheel on, some of the lug nuts on, and it's still loose up here. And I do have this, you know, on there, not tight, but you know, on there. So now I'm going to lower the car little by little to get that in there. All right, as you can see, I lowered it enough to be able to lower it more. So with leaving my jack there. If you only have one, that's how you do it. On a divorce setup, when you have room like the E46. Alright, so it's all installed. Tires torqued. Now time to do the other side. Alright, here we are on the other side. I did loosen just this right here. This one's loose without removing the top. And then here's the spring. Whoa. Oh, it actually came out already. Alright, I need both of my hands because, yeah, I can't do it on my leg. Yeah, because you need to push this down a little bit. Oh, look, it came out pretty easy. Alright, cool. Shit came out really easy. That's crazy. Alright. So the way how I install the MTS coilover is I put this actually originally how I installed it, this goes on the top and this goes on the bottom. So this is from the top, it goes up there, and the way I did it is I put this here and I put this down here originally. Damn, where's all this paint coming from? Let's see. Here's the spring. See, it looks good. There's nothing flaking. Just from the bottom here. See, this is where it all shit. So something, where all the paint came from. So yeah, it was hitting. Something was hitting. I had it like this. Right there in the back. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna remove that spring, that perch, and put the other one. Now I'm going to put on the bottom. So if something, why am I doing on the bottom? I don't know. Just to try it out. But it actually goes on top over here. So let's remove this. It's a 25mm nut on the bottom, or to loosen this up. Actually, it's a little loose. Alright, let's take this off. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you this. This actually is, you can actually see, is deforming. It's actually deforming. So yeah, actually I'm gonna that kind of freaked me out, so I'm actually, instead of putting it on the bottom here, I'm going to put it on the top. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to put it on the bottom. Yeah, I see. Nah, let's do it in the bottom. Whatever. If it breaks, I'll just replace it. Actually, yeah, I'm going to install it on the top. So this is how before I switched it out to my YCW spring perch, before I switched it out to these spring perch, I actually had it like this. And that actually did come with the spring helper. Helper spring, it's really big. It's like around this tall. It's just the helper. There's no tension to it. There's no spring rate to it. Maybe like 5 pounds or 10. Not enough to make a difference. But the reason it came with that helper spring, or helper spring, was because the original spring on these MTS coilover was about 4 inch. It was like this. And there was like a 20 kg. I forgot how much that, like 1,000, 12, 20 kg. I don't know what that is, but it's over 1,000 pounds per inch. 1,000 pounds, spring rate over. I think it was like 1,200 or 1,100. But yeah, it was tiny, so you needed the spring helper. But with this 5.5 inch spring, it doesn't. This 8.5 with here it is. It's a 140 millimeter height, so it's about 5 inches, 5.5, 60 millimeter ID, and then 150 Newton meters, which is about 856 pounds. All right. So let's put everything back together. All right. So as you can see, this is how it sits. On there tight. This is on there. I haven't torqued it down here, but here it is. So tension on the spring, as you can see, just based on how like the arm, just how this articulates. Right now, it's as you can see, it's not seated properly here. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like at full droop, which would not happen. So I'm using that to put some tension on it. But let's see what it looks at full droop. Alright, so you can see there's a little bit more. I can put my finger in here. So now imagine if this is, if the spring perch is down here, if it's down here on the bottom, then, I don't think there's an issue. There's many people running with the spring perch on the bottom. I'm doing on that side, but this is how I originally had it. The only thing that sucks when you have it like this, that it's very difficult to adjust. But, unless we could, could cut here. I can't feel it like towards here, but, or maybe cut this here. Be the only way. But this is how the car sits. How the spring perch goes. I like the letters to fit here, facing me. Alright, let's put everything back together. Alright, so everything's already installed in the cart. Everything's good. I don't know if you can see the spring, probably not. But everything's installed. Good to go. Until next time.